Britain's most brutal show is back. How did this show actually exist?
My grandma died.
Was she buried or cremated?
Sorry, what?
Now, the cameras are back to capture the new challenges facing the school.
Hello, you gorgeous donut. Imagine a TV show in which a school gets filmed for 24 hours of the day in the style of a reality TV show, a bit like Big Brother. Obviously, this would capture so much drama as loads of wild things happen when you're in school, creating so many emotions in the process. This show has more emotions than the cast of Inside Out. With students misbehaving all of the time and teachers trying to keep it together whilst knowing that they're also being filmed to the nation and trying not to lose their minds in the process. Well, all of this happens in the TV show that we're covering today, Educated Yorkshire. It's back! Come on! Now, the first season of this show actually aired in 2013, and it was known as one of the most raw and emotional rollercoaster docuseries that Channel 4's ever produced. We've covered a lot of them episodes from the first season, and I've cried in quite a few of them. Shock! Big baby over here. Don't worry about it, it's fine. But this led to the series being one of the most successful to ever come out of Britain. They actually made loads of side series such as Educating Manchester, Educating Essex, Educating the East End, Educating Cardiff. I feel like I'm forgetting one, there were so many. However, Educating Yorkshire has always been known as the most iconic one, where the most iconic things happened, and they never produced a second series, which had a lot of people quite annoyed until this very month. They've stepped that game up, and I love it. Now, in this video, I thought we would cover the first episode of the new series 12 years on from the first one launching. We're going to cover all of the insane arguments that happen in this. The one moment that possibly makes me tear up, hopefully not. The worst behaved child the show has ever covered. And we're going to see if Thornhill Academy, which is the school Educating Yorkshire documents, can actually still turn the lives of children round in 2025 like they could 12 years ago. Or is it totally different now? I'm so intrigued. Let's just dive in. Come on, I'm excited. So the episode begins with telling us that Mr. Burton, who was the most popular teacher from the first series because he was really empathetic, he really put the needs of the children above his own all of the time. He was great. Well, he now, 12 years later, is actually the head teacher of this school. You cut Mr. Burton up. He bleeds Thornhill Academy. It's in his blood. He was made for this. The bloke lives and breathes in this school. I wouldn't be surprised if he lives there. Now, he starts the documentary off by saying he wants to make Thornhill Academy a lot more positive than what it was in the first season, because in the first season, to put it lightly, there was a lot of nutters in the school. There was a lot of children that, were causing a bit of mayhem, okay? So he's putting various strategies in place to make it more of a positive environment for the kids.
You know you want one of these.
Oh my God.
I love this, right? This would make me rethink an action in school. If I was about to cause some absolute terrorism in school, I'd be like, oh no, missus wearing a high-vis saying be nice, work hard, better chill myself out. It's like when you walk into someone's house and you see live, laugh, love, you're like, okay, this is our home full of loving, right? I better put me best version of myself on display.
You know, somebody once said to me,
Yeah.
your values aren't your values if they have to be written on the side of a cup, but on a high-vis, they absolutely are.
To be fair, that's a good motto to live by. One thing I always think is a good thing to go by is if it isn't written on the back of a t-shirt in Primark, is it even really a quote? Live fast, die young. Yeah, I love that t-shirt. Thank you very much. That's going straight in my basket. I live my life that way. Does anyone else hate that though? When you see a really good t-shirt and you turn it around and it's just got some sort of really awkward quote on and you're like, I can't be seen dead wearing this. I wouldn't even get buried in that. Imagine waking up and you're coughing and you've just got live, laugh, love on. You'd be like, you know what? I don't want to return to the world. I'm right. I'll just stay here until, I'm eventually out. Anyway, that went morbid. Now, to really change the aura of this school, Mr. Burton actually has employed 2 people to help him with this, the 2 deputy heads. This is Miss Ali and Mrs. Delaney Hudson, and they seem like 2 of the most positive people on earth.
I think I will have a nice day today, I have a nice day every day.
Yeah, okay. Slay Queen. I love that. right? Bit of manifesting going on. Unbelievable, love. Do you know what? I'm going to have a good day today, right? All these pricks pissing us off, they're not going to affect us. Someone put that on the side of a mug or on a Primark t-shirt, then I'd buy it. I do wonder if the teachers are on their best behaviour when they're getting filmed, but I imagine, like, they film this show over the course of a year. Surely you would just forget the cameras are there after, like, a week or so. Mr. Burton also has obviously a team of teachers, and the first clip we get to see of all of the teachers is in the staff room where they're basically, like, chatting rubbish about a student.
The reason why he just misbehaves for me every lesson. I just don't like your personality.
To be fair, that's fair. You know, just go to your teacher. Miss, I just think there's a personality clash here. I don't think me and you are ever going to see eye to eye on this one. Just stop trying to teach us about sin cause tan. Love, it's not going to work. All right? We're not compatible like that, okay? This clip definitely does make me wonder, was I ever the topic of conversation in a staff room? Like, did the staff ever go, God, that Carmy's a right prick, isn't he? Like, that makes me self-conscious. Hopefully I wasn't, you know. Maybe I was. Who cares anyway? I always just remember it being so intimidating walking into a staff room. Like, it was almost like you were walking into, I don't know, like the devil's lair. You were like, I know I shouldn't be here, but I am intrigued. We then meet Mr. Wilson, who is a huge character in this Educating Season 2. He's like a student support teacher, and he says that the most difficult year group at this school is Year 8, and when we get like a few interviews with the students, it's kind of easy to see why he said this.
Basically, there's something wrong with me. I'm like a psychopath.
I'm going to start by saying I disagree with you. You're not a psychopath.
You're not a psychopath, but a psychopath. Yeah, people have been saying that. I've heard the rumours, love. But realistically, this is so sad that, you know, this girl is in year 8 and she genuinely thinks she's a psychopath. I feel like this is, you know, like a case of going on TikTok or going on the internet and, like, Googling what's wrong with you, and then, you know, you just say, like, the worst case scenario and you go, okay, that's me now. I'm going to die in 2 weeks from being a psychopath. The amount of things that, like, I've mentally self-diagnosed myself with just searching things that are wrong with me is off the scale. I've got all the Infinity Stones for mental illnesses, apparently, according to Google. But one thing I am intrigued with this second season being like 12 years since the first one, is how do students, like, are they more self-conscious now? Were they more self-conscious like back 12 years ago? I'm intrigued to see like the change just with like social media and TikTok being a huge thing in that period. And I definitely think straight off the bat you can tell students are a lot more self-conscious these days. And they're also a lot more brutal.
She didn't want to be with him anymore. After this Halloween party, he turned around to her and said, are you going to stop dressing like a anytime soon?
Sorry, you're in year 8. Calling people a what? Honestly, like, if I was the dad of a daughter who was in year 8 and like another year 8 said that, I'd be like going straight to their mum and dad's house. I'd be like, oi, your son, wanna fix him, do you? Calling my daughter, she's nothing like that. God, I hope I'm not a girl dad. I'm going to be so overprotective. I'm going to be a nightmare. We then get introduced to a student that is often seeing Mr. Wilson for help. This is a girl called Amy. And our first impression of Amy is her nearly falling to her death. Why do they talk like they're 70-year-old? Like she's had a fall outside of Morrison's or something. Oh, you're right there, love. Oh, get up. You'll be all right. Don't worry. We'll get you some antibiotics. You're all right. Amy hasn't fell over. Amy's had a fall. She's had a fall. Are you all right, love? Oh, this is so funny. Amy doesn't enjoy school. The only reason she comes to school is for the hash browns and her friends. And I must stress, in that order, friends are good, but have you tried a hash brown? You know, just saying, if it came to it, I'm choosing the hashes.
I love hash browns. Better than McDonald's, better than frozen, better than homemade. Perfection.
You're joking. Really, love? Better than McDonald's? I don't know. From a school canteen? I don't know if I believe you, love. Also, I love that at this age you do just get obsessed with, like, things. Like, I remember being obsessed with cheese paninis. Like, I would have cheese paninis for, like, breakfast, dinner, and tea. Like, I don't know what it was about the cheese panini that just grabbed my attention so much. But honestly, me and the cheese panini back in school, the chemistry was off the charts. It was unbelievable.
Sent from the heavens above. These are actually mine.
I wonder if she likes hash browns. I'm unsure. I feel like Amy is very similar to what I was in school. Like, she's very confident around her friends, but she's very, very shy around anyone who she's not as, like, friendly with. But you can tell she's really funny, which obviously I didn't have that, so she's got the one up on me on that front.
Like, if I'm around my mates, more confident. Why is your tight so hurly? They're like the Bible.
Sorry, you got absolutely served there. She's absolutely just wrecked that lass. You know what? That was so good. I need to write that one down. I'm going to use that in a video in about 6 months when everyone's forgot that, you know, Amy said that. And I'm just going to pass that off as my own. Honestly, people are going to eat that shit up. Thank you very much, Amy, for being me ghostwriter. And when we see her first meeting with Mr. Wilson, you can tell she's very, like, mature and almost has the problems of, like, an adult.
I lost my purse and it had my card in it and all my money and all my savings. I cannot go to sleep.
Bless her, man. She's so canny. She's in year 8. What are you, like 13, 14? I don't know. It's about 13, right? She's like, yeah, I've lost all my savings. Honestly, like the interest I've built up in me ISA, I had a 4% rate for so long and it's all gone down the pan, man. They've took it all. Me entire retirement fund and everything. It's gone. Oh, I can't buy any more hash browns now. Mr. Wilson says talking to Amy is almost like talking to a 50-year-old nana in a nice way. She's just very, like, you know, unique and herself. She almost reminds me of the TikToker Kate King. If anyone knows Kate King, she very much resembles the same type of personality traits as her, who I love, by the way. But to her, all of these issues are, like, really big, and she's saying that she's struggling to sleep because of the worries she's got.
I've tried herbal tea. It tasted disgusting and I didn't sleep.
Going for a run around the garden.
Tried that.
I don't think she's joking. Genuinely, I think she's telling the truth with that one. Now, another thing that Amy has to deal with is she often has tics. A lot of the times they come when she's nervous. She talks about how in lessons, if she maybe doesn't understand something, they can come out like a bit more frequently. And the saddest thing is the way that this has kind of ruined her confidence a little bit.
I'm just a mixture of random stuff that put together incorrectly.
Oh, God, no. Fuck, no. Oh, fuck. Oh. So I'm not laughing, I just laugh when I'm about to cry. The fact she says she's like a mixture of random stuff that's been put together like incorrectly. Her even saying that is kind of like validating in her own mind that she's kind of broken in a way when, you know, obviously she's not, but she's making herself believe that, which obviously like anyone who has felt that way knows that that kind of ruins your confidence and definitely makes you more shy. You're less self-assured, especially in school, which is the most stressful part of like constantly like evaluating yourself and thinking about other people's opinions. Like school is a hellhole for like thinking what other people are like thinking about you. I swear if anybody is mean in this episode to Amy later on, which I imagine someone is going to be, I'm going to turn up at their front door and give their parents a good talking to. I'll be like, oi, fancy stop bullying Amy. I mean, we've got no like, you know, like family connections or anything. I'm just a very big fan. All right.
Some days I'll be like, fine, I'll be sort of confident. I'll be like, you know what, I can do this. Some other days I'll just want to lay in bed and disintegrate.
Now, obviously school's stressful, but this is going to just make the stresses of school so much more intense for Amy. I always remember watching a documentary from Lewis Capaldi who goes through the same things, and he used to say that whenever he was in like a uncomfortable moment or something that was out of his comfort zone, often his tics would become worse, and clearly the way that Amy's describing them, this seems like it's the case. Mr. Wilson also says that he's worried that Amy's tics are going to become even worse later in this episode, so I don't know how this episode's going to go, but hopefully by the end of it, Amy has a positive experience and arc in this school. Amy then arrives to her first lesson, and this is where we get introduced to the class clown, and also an integral part of this episode, Riley.
Connie, Riley, absolutely not. We're sat down.
Such shit crap. Yeah, mate, watch this. Oh, that was Riley, that was mid. What? I love the little, that one got his what? By the way, when I saw the person sitting in the teacher's seat, I was like, oh, right, okay, is that a student? This teacher looks so young. No offense to this teacher, right? It's a good thing. That's remarkable. I love it. Do I love it? I don't know. It's just kind of good, I guess. It's just weird to see people my age are now teachers. You know, it's kind of, it just, this makes me feel really old.
Ethan, 1. Isaac, 1. Riley, 9.
9 what?
Negatives for last week.
I can already tell later in this episode this kid is going to be an absolute superstar. The bloke's got star potential, man. You can see it already. He's gripping the audience. Seeing Riley kind of act up like this as well, like it makes me think, is the production team and the cameras like a positive experience for these children, or is it a negative? Because I feel like if you are a child that likes attention, you know, you're a bit of a class clown, surely you're going to act up even more when the cameras are there. And it makes me think, like, does it actually disrupt the learning process for the children, them filming this? Or or is it a good thing because it makes kids like behave more? I don't know. I think it can go one or two ways. Let us know what you think. I'm also worried that, you know, if people like Riley further into this episode become like a fan favourite, will they become like child influencers? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, with the way social media is, with clips and everything now, like these can all build like a platform if they do have social media accounts. Hopefully they're all on private. The documentary talks a little bit more about Riley and how in year 7 he was really quiet and a lot of teachers didn't even know his name, but in year 8 he turned into some sort of like monster, and this is a real shock to everyone.
He was just this quiet little mouse, and then we get into year 8 and it's like, who's this character?
One thing I always say, never trust someone that uses a fart gun. Okay, that's an instant red flag. If you see someone in the street going, just know you don't want anything to do with them. Okay, I've made that mistake before. Just quickly, before we proceed with the rest of the episode, 53.9% of you unsubscribe to this channel. We're on the hunt for 1 million donuts on this channel, and honestly, we're getting there pretty quickly. So if you want to be in the before 1 million subscriber donut community, press subscribe now, and then you've got that for the rest of your life. Honestly, that's a pretty prestigious title. Okay, do it. I think you should do it, okay? One of the teachers says that Riley really struggles with sensory issues, which makes his behaviour even worse.
In lessons, really struggles to focus.
Riley, concentrating, please. Thank you.
I'm concentrating, I've got them all right.
Don't have your head hanging out the window, though.
Even the way that his Pritt stick lid is on, you can tell that he just really struggles to concentrate. Like, look at this. What is going on here? Why is he balancing the lid? Bless him.
What does skibbity wibbly wobbly?
Again, you know, when people start bringing up the skibbity chart, that's when you're like, oh God, I don't trust you, son. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. Skibbity toilet, you know, especially when they know the seasons of it as well. Like, there's apparently like loads of seasons of this shit. Nah, not for me. Thank you very much. I went to see my little brother a few weeks back and he was talking all this skibbity stuff and I was like, you know what, I think me and you just need some time apart. Like, I just don't really feel like there's, you know, there's much like family connection right now. I feel like something's taken over you. Saddest part is Riley says that he doesn't understand why he acts out this way. Like, he really wants to behave, but he says that his brain just doesn't let him, and it just kind of like he's a little bit out of control of his own actions. Now, later in this episode, you're going to see the sole reason why he acts this way, and genuinely, if you were given 100 guesses, you probably wouldn't guess it. But because he disrupts lessons all of the time, he has to have constant meetings with Miss Delaney, who kind of keeps on top of him with his behaviour, and you can tell he absolutely loves this.
B1, failure to follow instruction.
That is Bubbles, that. I will follow instructions.
Bubbles? That's a new one. Oh, yeah, that's absolute Bubbles, that, like. I'm gonna nick that. That's absolute Bubbles, that, like. What? Bubbles? You're so Bubbles. I think I'm just using it in wrong scenarios now. My birthday was the other day. I've hit unk status now. When I don't understand, like, the phrases that, like, you know, young people say anymore, that's when I know I need to hang the boots up, and that time is now.
Shouting out. So we've got...
An answer.
You didn't. You shouted out mango.
Mango?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's such a unique word. Like, I feel like you would remember shouting that out, but not if you're Riley, I guess, you know. Like, if I shouted out mango, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that day. Right, I remember it was raining. Yeah, it wasn't a great day. Not my proudest moment, if you're asking. Mrs. Delaney says that if Riley's behaviour continues like this, they're going to test him for ADHD, and that'll discover whether, you know, something else is at play, or if he just likes being the class clown. Which is very interesting, because I feel like, you know, 12 years ago in the first season of this, whenever a child was misbehaving, they never kind of brought that up, that aspect of it. We then take a little break from Riley. We're going to meet him again later on and see how he's doing. We then switch to Amy, who is just doing very Amy things.
You're all right, Millie. Do you need emotional support? She needs an emotional support piece of toast.
This last, oh my God, she's class. Side note, talking about emotional support, I was recently on stage at my two friends Batch and Arthur's live show for their podcast, and there was one drill challenge where you basically had to high five the name of someone's name that you read out on a piece of card. Anyway, the person that I had to high five was in the second row, so I just leaped off the stage as soon as I saw her put her hand up. Little did I know she had an emotional support dog that was lying there, and I nearly took it out. Like, Like, genuinely, I fell to my knees, and right here was just the dog looking at us going, you absolute prick. Honestly, if I wasn't an emotional support dog, if I didn't have to keep my emotions in check right now, you, son, would be dead. I believe the owner was called Emma. Apologies if I'm getting this wrong, but Emma actually put a story up where that dog was watching my videos. So I think we're, like, you know, trying to build our relationship back up. You know, we're just taking it every day as it comes at the moment.
I'm allergic to McDonald's. Anytime I have it, I always end up vomiting. You better not date a poor man then. And you never know, I might end up single with a dog.
In year 8, they're going, well, honestly, you better not date a poor man because McDonald's is going to be you every night, look. Right? You're going to be vomiting every single night if you date a poor man. Sorry, what poor man eats at McDonald's every night? That's a rich man. A very rich man. Takeaways every night? That's the dream. Also, Amy, just a little callback. I don't think I can, like, trust your hash brown rating skills if you're allergic to McDonald's. Like, you said that the hash browns at the canteen were better than the hash browns at McDonald's. How am I meant... Let's try that again. How am I meant to trust your skill if you can't even eat one of them? I've sussed you out, Amy. I've sussed your game out. We then get our first words from Amy's friends, and you can tell they really, like, love and adore her and appreciate her. However, they admit to often having arguments, and the show shows them having an argument with Amy where they're kind of going at her a little bit. And I just feel so sorry for Amy because she says she'll often apologise even if she doesn't really feel like she needs to, just because she's so scared of, like, having no friends again, and she doesn't want to lose these friends because she really likes them. And you can tell they're definitely like an escape for her because how she's described herself, like, as broken and stuff like that. Having her friends definitely takes her mind off, you know, what she's going through mentally. We then see more clips of Amy talking about herself. Like, they're in a student support class and the teacher asks her, like, what's your favourite thing about herself? And this is her response.
Amy, what do you like about yourself? I don't know. Positives.
What are you trying to do to us? Are you trying to make us cry again? Genuinely, I've got no tears left. Like, what do you? I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left. You ruined my holiday. Got nothing left. Do you not think this is really sad though? That, you know, someone of this age, especially, like, you know, year 8, can't think of a single thing about themselves that they like. This is definitely, you know, due to social media and due to, like, comparing yourself with even people in your own school or just people in your area. Like, I just find it really sad that people are growing up with a lot less confidence. I know I was the same, like, when I was in school, so I guess it's not really like a generation thing because I guess everyone kind of feels this in some sort of way. But it's just really sad because, you know, she's dead funny and she's like, you know, she's got friends, she's got a lot of positives in her life, but she can't, like, kind of compartmentalize that. That was a big word. Okay, right, I'm scratching that one off the thesaurus. I'm scratching it off the thesaurus.
We need you to be able to look in the mirror and feel positive about yourself and be able to say some positive things.
But I can't do that. I've tried.
To be fair, it is kind of hard to say positive things about yourself in the mirror. Like, I will give you that, Amy. Like, I've tried it before, and it just makes you seem like a bit of a psychopath. You almost feel like Christian Bale in American Psycho. You are gorgeous and beautiful. You are amazing. No, your teeth don't make you look like a stupid idiot. It doesn't really work, does it? I don't know if I've got that kind of nailed down, that self-love thing. Still working on that. And it is interesting because Amy's tics during this conversation get really bad, so you can tell, you know, just thinking about herself and thinking about our own, you know, confidence issues is clearly a huge stress, and I feel like it is for everyone. I feel like when you have to think very personal about yourself, like, I don't like doing it, I don't know if you like doing it, clearly Amy doesn't like doing it. For some reason, it's just not a thing that's really, I guess, promoted in the UK especially. We're very, like, self-deprecating, and we're very like, oh, if we take the piss out of ourselves, like, it makes us feel better about being, like, having bad things. But in reality, it's probably not the most healthy way to kind of, you know, deal with what you're dealing with. We just kind of joke about it all. I feel like other countries actually address it a little bit more. But again, like, she has really good friends who support her, and that's really important. Like, they always say, no, you're amazing and all of that, and they never seem to, like, tire of Amy kind of, you know, thinking bad about herself, which is really nice. Now, just a side note, Educating Yorkshire was very famed for having funny cutscenes that, you know, added nothing to the plot, but they were kind of just like a light breath of entertainment to kind of, you know, just have a little space between going back to the storylines of the kids. And I'm so glad that they've kept it in the second season as well, because they're just so funny.
Own up to it. Says heard it and he knows it was somebody. Right. Who made the pig noises?
I thought this was going to be something like, oh, who's bullying this person? Or who, like, I don't know, punched this person? Who made made the pig noises. I want us to like kind of figure out who this is out of these three. This person looks very guilty. You know, I feel like they've got a pig noise in them. I don't know why. I feel like they would go home and practice it in the mirror to themselves. I don't feel like it's this person. This person, I feel like they knew about the pig noises, but they just don't want to like snitch. That's the vibe I get from this person. I feel like this person was a creative director behind the pig noises. They're doing too much with the pig noise. No, I don't. Oh no. Like they're giving too much here. Well, I feel like we've cracked the case here. If anyone has anything else different to suspect, please let me know. But I feel like I've done it. Didn't need just right. I'm already too good at this. Thanks for being my glamorous assistant, though. I appreciate it. We also see Mr. Wilson dealing with the weirdest incident that I think I've ever seen on this series.
Right, it's the usual thing. He does have a second pair of trousers on under there. We had an issue yesterday, sir, with a vape stuffed down the front of his second pair of trousers.
Bro, this is bad. This is bad. Like, kids are addicted to, you know, like Lost Marys and vapes and elf balls. Like, what? They're so addicted that they're willing to wear a second pair of pads over their normal pair of pads so that they can sneak it in. What is going on? Like, 2 pairs of pants? I hate when, like, I wear pants over shorts. You know, I'm like, oh, there's just, you know, there's not much room in there, right? Everything just feels really uncomfortable. Never mind 2 pairs of pants. How are you not sweating? I just know that his mum and dad are like, where's all these pants? Like, I'm washing them every day. Like, does he wear 2 a day? Surely not.
I can't believe you wear them like that. Is it not uncomfortable?
To be fair, it's actually kind of smart. You're just kind of married to the game of, you know, just sneaking a Lost Mary in. I don't rate it, but I can see the vision, is what I'm saying. Very alarming, though, that you need to go through all of this just to sneak that in. After this, the show goes back to Riley, and shockingly, he's still not doing very well.
So we're looking at enzymes. That is bubbles.
I know I shouldn't laugh, but come on, like, how am I meant to... Like, how as a teacher do you keep this together when you're talking about enzymes, you know, something very intricate and something very knowledgeable, something you've studied for, like, years, you've put your entire time and craft into this, and when you're describing your love for enzymes, out of the corner of your eye, all you see is this? I bet, you know what, fair enough. Like, fair, you know, honestly, yeah, just keep it up. Great work, Riley. It does make me think, like, I wonder if attention spans in schools just aren't as good now. Like, I feel like my attention span's not as good because obviously a lot of, like, video format on your phone is just like, you know, TikTok, you're just gone, like, here today, gone tomorrow. Like, you rarely watch long form stuff. Like, I know you're watching long form stuff here, but a lot of the time you're kind of just getting instant kind of feedback. So when something actually requires a little bit of thought, you're just kind of not used to it, so you don't really engage with it as much. I don't know, but it's just interesting to see the difference to now to 12 years ago. But from a teacher's perspective, I can't tell that Riley would be a little bit of a nightmare for them.
Riley, go and wait outside, please. Abdram, why have you still got a paper aeroplane in your hand? We'll ask you to wait outside.
I'm listening.
Like, stuff like this is obviously like a conscious choice. We're going to see later on, like, the reason why Riley acts this way. And I understand, like, he has to have a little bit different care because of, you know, just the stuff that he goes through. But he's consciously trying to disrupt, like, other students, and it's not fair on the other students that their learning is affected because of Riley. I know that's probably, like, an unfair thing to say for him, but, like, imagine you actually, like, really like this subject. You would be a little bit like, oh, like, he's getting so much attention and I get none of it. Now, because Riley is becoming such a huge problem in the school, Mrs. Delaney and Mr. Burton sit down to figure out how they can actually help him, and they deduct a few things. Like, apparently Riley is in top set for everything, so he's really, really clever. He just doesn't engage himself with the work, and sometimes the work's too easy for him, and if he finishes early, that's when he starts to misbehave. And like I said previously, they're also looking now to set up some sort of diagnosis process for him to see, you know, if it is a conscious decision that he's acting this way, or if something else, you know, like I said, is at play. I also do want to make note, I feel like the structure of school just doesn't fit right for everyone, and I don't think it is like a be-all and end-all of deciding if somebody is actually smart. Like, clearly Riley's very smart, he just struggles in the setting of a classroom. The structure of school just doesn't really work for him. I know I'm, like, deep in this, but it's interesting. Like, I think it was like 10 years ago they did Educating Essex. There was a kid on there called Vinny, and he was, like, excluded, and, like, the way that they kind of, like, dealt with him was a lot harsher to how they're dealing with Riley. It seems like now they really try to understand the children a lot better rather than just kind of painting them with the same brush, which I do think is a positive thing, but I do know it's like a case-by-case basis. The show then then progresses a few days and Mrs. Delaney actually runs through a neurodivergency screening with Riley. She basically runs him through loads of questions that he has to answer, and then apparently like the result of the test like come up after this. And whilst he's answering all the questions, I do feel sorry for Riley because you can tell in his face he doesn't quite understand what's going on. He doesn't understand why he has to like answer these questions. But again, like after he finishes this, there is some things that he decides to do that he should know he probably shouldn't be doing.
Louis!
He's an absolute menace. Like, I'll give it to him as well. He's quite creative. Like, putting water on, like, a slant of mud and making a slide. Can't lie. Right, this guy's actually... He's basically Jesus. You know when Jesus, like, got a bucket and got loads of fish in it and, like, fed, you know, like the 5,000? Riley's basically the same. Just saying. He's Yorkshire Jesus. No, he's not. He's not. Not gonna make that a thing. This is like watching a Mr. Beast video or something. The production value's insane. Making a water slide out of Harrogate water, honestly, is there anything better that you want to spend your time doing? I don't think so. Them Harrogate waters used to bag in school, by the way. Such a throwback. The show then progresses another week and Riley's mum is actually being called into the school so she can witness the results of the screening that they did for Riley alongside Riley. Also, if you haven't already, please do drop a like on this video because apparently it helps us out.
I think you need to bring your shoes home and have a bit of polish on them.
I'm doing it. Is that right for you, Bobby?
Did he call you Bobby?
This kid, his mum just looks sick of it now. His mum's like, oh, please give me the answers I want. They then go through all of the things that have showed up in the test. Now, I'm just going to read them out rather than reacting to them because there is quite a few things they test for. Apparently, it came up with minuscule readings of dyslexia. So basically, he doesn't have dyslexia. Like, it's very, very minimal percentages. Less than half a chance of ADHD, which, like, the entire teaching unit is kind of, you know, being confident about. So, you know, less than half a chance, obviously, is probably lower than they expected. Mrs. Delaney has also worked out that Riley only really misbehaves after lunch, not really in the morning that much. So she asks Riley and Riley's mum, like, what is his diet like? Like, what does he eat? Because this could have a severe impact on the way that he is behaving.
Average daily diet.
Chocolate Weetabix normally.
Oh, you forgot that chocolate bit. Yeah, but
Then he puts sugar on him.
a tablespoon.
Did you see the teacher's look? The teacher's like, ah, right. Don't think we might have needed the screening for the other stuff if I knew this prior. Still good that he had it done though, I guess. But yeah, honestly, if I had chocolate Weetabix with like sugar laid all over on top, I'd be off me tits. Like genuinely, I'd be like hanging off the lights. Like even today at this age, honestly, I would be like doing this while also doing handstands. Too old, man. I used to be like a king handstander. That's what they used to call us. They used to call us the daddy of handstands. I've kind of, you know, give me title to someone else now to like take the reins, but that was my name back in the day, just saying.
Cup of coffee.
Is it normal coffee?
Yeah.
So we've got some more sugar banged in that coffee, yeah?
Yeah.
Riley, are you not sweet enough?
Like, obviously, I'm not gonna, you know, criticise the parents too much here because, like, she's very stressed as well. Like, she's having to deal with Riley, okay? Like, it must be very stressful. But surely, you know, he's having chocolate Weetabix with tablespoons of sugar on top. Then he's also having a coffee, which by itself, a coffee for a child is quite intense anyway. But he's having sugar in the coffee as well. No wonder the kid comes to school and he's just like, fucking fuck. He's just coming on smoke though, like just ready to cause absolute carnage. They could put Venom in this school and I don't think it would, you know, create as much chaos. I actually think Riley could be the next Spider-Man villain. You know, I think Tom Holland's got his work cut out with this one. Just give Riley a coffee and chocolate Weetabix and you're not stopping him, my friend.
Then sometimes he'll take a tube of Pringles out of cupboard on his way to school normally.
Oh, you just graze on him.
Like straight away to me that at least like says, oh, this is could be a big part of the issue here. Now, Mrs. Delaney has revised a new food diet for Riley, which obviously is going to be pretty tedious, like as a child, like to have like a bit of a diet, like when you're in year 8, you're probably not going to respond well to this. But Mrs. Delaney is hopeful by the end of the episode that this will change Riley's entire behavioural pattern. I am excited to see at the end of the episode if he does change at all and if this is the issue. I'm intrigued. Riley, why are you building that mudslide, son? I just had chocolate Weetabix with with like loads of sugar. Honestly, Tate and Lyle haven't got any left, man. Bags of the shit. Now, before we actually see if this is successful, the show then cuts back to Amy, who is having troubles in our friendship group. Her friend Millie is actually ignoring her right now. Just one thing. Millie, get back here and say bye to Amy right now, will you? Just say bye to your love, right? Someone says bye to you, you just give it one of them. All right, see you later. Anytime that Amy gets disrespected, I'm like standing on business. I'm like, no. Not Amy. Anyone but Amy. Amy says things like this occur and like ruin her day. Like it triggers her anxiety and she'll just be thinking about the entire day. And honestly, like I feel that anything can happen. Like any minuscule thing can happen in my day. You know, the delivery driver giving us a package. If I feel like I didn't like be as nice, like I don't know, like if I didn't like go out of my way to be even nicer than I normally am, I'll start to overthink that, and I don't know why, like that's just a weird thing that I have, like such simple interactions. So I can't imagine what it's like for Amy, who has, you know, other stuff on top of that. And as the episode progresses, Amy is trying to find out why her friend is ignoring her, but she's not getting much success.
Hi. What wrong with you this morning? You alright? Sure?
Oh, that's cold. That's cold. Sorry, that's going to end up in like a TikTok edit or something. Like, what? That is cool. That's worse than like being nasty here. Like saying loads of nasty words, just someone going... Because then you don't know where you stand. The unknown is so much worse. Just speak. I just feel sorry for Amy because this is really upsetting her. And because of this situation, like right now, her tics are becoming even more prominent. So Amy then goes to her safe space, who is Mr. Wilson. She basically tells him about the situation, how it's making her feel. Then Mr. Wilson leaves the room to go and fetch Millie. And when Amy is in the room by herself, she just starts breaking down in tears.
Not every teenager has that added extra of what Amy's difficulties are as well.
Oh, bro. It's so sad. Why did I choose to break this show down again? At least give her the free chewing gums that are in the back just to cheer her up a bit. Some extra support. I had to throw it in. Sorry. Terrible. I just think this is really wholesome though, because she clearly cares a lot about her friends. Like she really, you know, puts her friends above her own happiness and like relies a lot on her friends. It would be good if she could become a little bit more independent, but I feel like that doesn't happen until you leave school and like you mix with new people and then you're comfortable kind of being by yourself. Like I feel like school is the hardest time for like figuring out your emotions, because you're going through all these emotions for the first time and it's so overwhelming, on top of like you're developing emotions as well. Oh, honestly, like I would never go back to school because of all of this. Like if someone was like, you can go back to school and live, I'll be like, no, not a chance. Millie then gets brought into the office and they kind of get left alone whilst Mr. Wilson is on the computer to kind of figure it out, and the way that Amy approaches it is really mature.
This morning, I saw that you're a bit magic and I wanted to know what was wrong, but I also didn't want to make you upset. Yeah, it's alright.
Like she could have very easily have been like angry there and said, why are you ignoring us? What, like getting a bit leery. But she's like seeing it from her friend's point of view. Even though her friend has been pretty rude to her, ignoring her, she's still like, you know, being like, I can see that you were like, you know, I didn't want to push and stuff. That just shows like the emotional intelligence of this lass at her age is crazy. Her friend Millie does like apologise and say that, you know, if Amy is ever feeling sad, she can speak to her. But I feel like, you know, she did try and speak to her. But I just think this is a case of being like a teenager. I feel like teenagers are just awkward and they don't know how to navigate situations like this, and you learn from these kind of things. I don't think it makes our friend Millie a bad person at all. She's just figuring this all out as well for the first time. I feel like in school you would fall out with your friends and then a day later you're best friends again and you just don't understand why you ever stopped talking yesterday. But it is really nice that Amy has a safe space like Mr. Wilson, who can kind of facilitate like different difficult situations for her and just kind of, you know, fix them, because sometimes I feel like it does help when a teacher does step in, and it just shows like student support teachers are so important to like a child's development. Like if this situation was never solved, Amy could have just ended up with just, you know, being alone, and just that would have really affected her mental health and her tics. Now it's sorted. The show then focuses in more on Riley to really see if this diet is developing his behaviour for the better, and you can tell the teachers are like hot on checking if he's actually keeping up with it.
Any snacks in that bag?
No, I swear to God.
Any snacks in the pockets?
My pockets are empty apart from a couple of crumbs.
Any...
Nah, I don't believe him. I do not believe him right now. That jacket, one of them Savetti ones from like, what is it, Foot Asylum or something, they've got like hundreds of pockets. right? The bloke's came prepared. He's brought more treats than ever. He's like Willy Wonka right now. We then get a shot of Riley at the canteen where he has to order something a bit better than just sweets. And he says that everything in the canteen is minging. And if he doesn't manage to get a pizza slice, he's just got to get a chocolate cookie. And honestly, I can kind of relate to that because I feel like my school dinners were minging. Like, we used to have something called Pasta King. And on the face of it, it looked nice. Like, the photos of it looked unbelievable. But there would be more water in your cup than the actual pasta. Like, genuinely, I feel like the pieces of pasta needed like a life raft just to stay afloat. Also, I remember in primary school, they used to have a dinner system that like 1 week you would be first for dinner and the next week you would be last for dinner. And if your year was last for dinner, there would hardly be anything left for you to eat. Like, all there would be like a cheese savoury sandwich or an egg sandwich. It's like choosing between two people to steal your wife. I don't like either of those things. Like, why was that even a thing that if you were last for dinner, that wasn't your choice? You had to just kind of half stop. So wild when you think about it. Did anyone else have that experience, or is that just a northern thing? Maybe it's the amount of weight I must have lost in the weeks that I was last for dinner. Oh,
I sometimes have double pizza, so pizza for dinner and pizza for tea after, and that's a good game.
it's so mint when you're a child and you're just like, yeah, double pizza, like that's like the best day of my life. Like, honestly, like if I could have this day every single day, I would be a happy man. I would die a happy bloke. You can tell specifically at this school, I imagine the dinners are a bit naff because loads of the students just mock it.
It's like prison food.
I think some of them are nice.
Chips with no salt.
I love the way they're talking about. Wouldn't even feed me dog that, and he's dead. No, he's not. I'm lying. Again, don't know why I'm lying so much today. This girl on the left actually brings her own seasoning in.
I bring my own salt. It's in my pocket. Jesse.
That's so how she got shot. I've never seen someone trying to aura farm so much in my life. Look, she knows she's got like a banging TikTok out with this. She brings her own salt, man. Now, whilst all of the students are on their dinner, Riley gets caught out for bringing in illegal snacks into the school, which he said he didn't have.
Have you had all that?
No, I've only had literally that.
Oh. Anything else? Be honest with us. It's bright pink.
I told you he sneaked in even more stuff. I could tell. Like, why did he suddenly come to school in a massive puffer jacket? The bloke came prepared. But after this, in the next coming days, Riley does seem to actually try and adapt to this new diet. I think he was just having one last hurrah.
Have you eaten all your melon?
Yeah.
Right. Are you going to behave today at school, Riley?
I'll try.
No negative comments, please.
What about if I shout mango? That's not negative. It's a fruit. That's what you want from us, isn't it? I'd probably forget I'd said it as well.
Come on, get your coffee down here and then get dressed for school.
It's so funny that he has a coffee. It's like he's just, have me coffee, then I'm off to work, right? I'll see you later, love. Make sure my tea's on the table when I get back. I've got to say, Yorkshire accent is my favourite accent. Like, I think it's better. Like, it's on par with the Geordie accent, but I just think it's such, like, a unique accent. Can I say accent once more? Just said it. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. And weirdly, since he's changed his diet up, his behaviour has improved so much.
Belt frame was moving.
Riley, absolutely brilliant. Well read.
He's really like embraced this and gone with it.
I think this is so important to document because obviously, you know, there is a lot of children that need a diagnosis with certain things. But in Riley's case, it definitely seemed like it was a lot more simple in terms of all you need to do is just change his diet, like looking at these things first. I think it is important because he said previously in this episode, like, oh yeah, I've got ADHD. And you know, like when they'd done the screening, it was less than 50%. Clearly, this still shows symptoms of it. But clearly the overriding factor so far was his diet, which is just, it's important that they actually run through everything in his life just to avoid like misdiagnosing him. I know this is a very touchy subject, but I'm just trying to offer like a overall perspective on it because I know a lot of people actually do need a diagnosis.
Have I got you again like this?
No, yeah, you have, yeah.
Good. I like your lesson.
Oh, thanks, Riley.
Like, imagine going from the child that used to go, hey, miss, I actually think you're pretty sound, you like. You must be like, oh my God, thank the heavens. He's also receiving a lot less bad behavioural points. Like we saw at the start of the episode, he got 9, which like the second highest in the class was like 2. And he's having so much more success in his marks and his lessons as well. I also think like positive reinforcement for Riley's like really important. Whenever he does something good, like certain teachers praise him for it. And it kind of just builds this like positive momentum and mindset for him. And like from his perspective, he's like, well, why would I like misbehave to get attention when I'm getting attention for doing things that are good? I might as well just do things that are good, and it's a lot less stressful for us. However, the real determinant factor if Riley actually needs to be excluded from his lessons or if he can stay in his lessons is his report card, which is now read out. This is the make or break for Riley.
Excellent in exam conditions. Fantastic. Very good. Comment. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's just our Riley. Right. Absolutely. I told you, star quality. I said it. This is actually such a nice arc because I was worried that in 2025 it's going to be a lot more difficult to like help these children because just like 12 years is a hell. There's been so much change in the world in 12 years, and I wasn't sure if like kids are just maybe it's a bit more just like angsty now. But this still shows that like with good teaching and like people actually being aware of the issues that students face, you genuinely can change the life of these kids, and it's so amazing to see. Like this is such a good arc for the show. I do wish that they got his mom back in for this moment because that would have been like a nice kind of like closed book ending to this episode, and I think it would have been nice for his mom to see like him do really well as well and see him getting praised. But because Riley's actually improved his behaviour so much, he gets rewarded with his favourite activity.
You, my friend, are going gardening.
Why would I go gardening?
Because that's what his reward is and he enjoys it.
I would not choose gardening.
All right, love. Well, I've got one question. Who the fuck are you? I'm sure that's literally a school kid. I didn't mean that. We have just been introduced to this random person, though. That's so wholesome, by the way, that he's rewarded with gardening just because he likes it. That's such a UK thing as well. Like, someone likes something that's a bit different and everyone goes, you like gardening? You absolute freak. What, you don't like scrolling TikTok and you're watching football and you like playing like video games, no? What a freak. What a melon. What a mango. What an absolute mango. It's Bubbles that. I'm like a soundboard right now. I don't even know what's going on. But you can see how happy he is that he ends up gardening, and that's just so wholesome. And it just shows that this kid is actually a really nice kid. He just needed a little bit of support to, show his niceness. And that's how the episode ends. And overall, I'm actually like really pleased with the quality of this. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be a bit stale compared to the episodes 12 years ago. I was worried it would be kind of watered down because, I don't know if it would be a bit more sensitive this time, but it's still as raw as it was 12 years ago. And I'm actually really interested to see where they take this series and, how like raw they go with it and if there's even more intense things that happen. But overall, as a first episode, I think it's still got its spark of what it did. I'm so happy because covering this show was like the first thing that did really well for us. So like I feel attached to this show in a weird way. And they are actually releasing the episodes like weekly. Like they focus on different students in every episode. So if you do want me to cover more episodes of this new season, 7,000 likes on this video and I will do it. And if you want to binge watch all of my videos, I've got so many videos on Educated Yorkshire and all the other ones. Click this video right here and just you know what? You've got your night sorted. Okay, you don't even need to go anywhere else. Okay, I've got your donuts. Thank you for watching. As always, I really appreciate it.